Hello students, in this lecture we are going to study how to calculate electric field at a point on equatorial plane of a dipole. So first of all, let us understand what an equatorial plane is. Suppose if you are having a dipole like this is the positive and the negative charge, and the pink line which you can see is the axis of the dipole. If we are having a plane like this which is passing through the center of the dipole and is perpendicular to the axis of the dipole, then such a plane is known as equatorial plane. Now we wish to calculate electric field at a point on the equatorial plane somewhere here, which is at a distance r from the center of the dipole. So we'll draw the figure for that. Suppose if this is our positive charge and this is our negative charge. This is the center of the dipole. We know that the total distance between both the charges is 2a, so this distance is going to be a. We need to calculate electric field at this point P, which is at a distance r from center of the dipole. Now I'll be drawing the directions of electric field at this point P because of both the charges. First, due to the positive charge, we know that the direction will be radially outwards. So suppose if the electric field is this is suppose E plus the electric field due to positive charge at point P, and due to negative charge it will be radially inwards. So this is vector E minus. Now for simplicity, I'll call vector E minus as E1 and vector E plus as E2. So this is my vector E2 and this is my vector E1. Now these two vectors are the electric field due to positive and negative charge at point P, and the resultant addition of these two vectors is going to give me the resultant electric field at point P. Now by using the law of parallelogram, the resultant of these two will be in this direction. So this is the resultant vector E. Now I need to calculate the value of this vector E. So for that, just see this vector E2. It is inclined with x-axis at angle theta. So this vector will get divided into two components, horizontal component and vertical component. Now I want the values of the components. So if I draw a right angle triangle like this, then by using the formula of cos theta, it was adjacent upon hypotenuse. Okay, so this is the adjacent side and this is the hypotenuse. Here we need to write down the magnitude of hypotenuse, which is E2. So from this I can say that the adjacent side is equals to E2 cos theta. So this was the adjacent side. So the value of this adjacent side is E2 cos theta. Now same way I can obtain the vertical component also by using the formula of sin theta. Formula was opposite upon hypotenuse. Again, this sin theta is equals to opposite side upon hypotenuse. Hypotenuse value is E2. So from this I can obtain the value of opposite side. It is E2 sin theta. So this is the opposite side. This is E2 sin theta. So I have obtained the components of vector E2. E2 cos theta and E2 sin theta. Same way I can obtain the components of vector E1 also by drawing a right angle triangle over here, and this is theta. Again applying same formula of sin theta and cos theta, I'll obtain this component of vector E1 as E1 cos theta and this component of vector E1 as E1 sin theta. Now we know one thing, that in a dipole, both these charges are equal in magnitude. So, the components E1 and E2 will be equal in magnitude, and they are opposite in direction as you see from the figure. So, we can write here E1 sine theta is equal to E2 sine theta, and they are opposite in direction, therefore they get cancelled off. So these two components does not contribute in the value of resultant electric field. So the value of this resultant electric field is going to be E1 cos theta plus E2 cos theta. So we'll write that electric field at P, vector E is equals to E1 cos theta plus E2 cos theta. Now as I have written here vector sign, I need to write here a unit vector along the direction of electric field. So from the figure we can see that the direction of the resultant electric field is this, and the direction of the dipole is always from negative to positive. So this is our vector P. So the direction of electric field is minus P cap. I can say like that. So I'll write here minus P cap. See, this is the direction of vector P. So minus P cap will be in this direction, which will be along the direction of electric field. So I have written here the direction. Now I can take a cos theta out of the bracket. So E1 plus E2 cos theta minus P cap. This is my equation 1. Now I need to calculate the magnitudes of E1 and E2 and substitute in this equation. So I'll get my resultant value of electric field. So for that I'll calculate E1. We all know the formula of electric field due to a point charge. It was this. Again here we are using the principle of superposition. We'll be calculating electric field due to positive charge, then due to negative charge, and then we'll add them, so we'll get the resultant electric field over here. So E1 from this equation, K is equals to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught. Q is our source charge. So E1 is this, is the electric field due to the negative charge Q. So Q I won't be writing minus, I'll be writing the magnitude of the charge only. And this is the distance of the source charge from the point where we need to calculate electric field. We need to calculate electric field at this point, which is at this distance from our source charge. This is our source charge. So first we need to calculate this distance. Now if you see from the figure, this distance and this distance are equal. So if I write the value of this distance, see, this is A and this is R. So by using Pythagoras theorem, it will be R square plus under root of R square plus A square. So this distance is similar. So here I'll write down the value under root R square plus A square whole square. It is magnitude, so I need not write here any unit vector along its direction. Now I'll calculate E2 by using same formula. This is the value of K. My source charge is now positive charge. So I'll be writing Q, and the distance of the positive charge from the point P is under root R square plus A square. From the formula, here it will be square. This is equation 2. This is suppose equation 3. Then I'll substitute both these values in equation 1. Now just see equation 2 and equation 3. They are similar. So if I am adding E1 and E2, I am going to get twice of this value. So from 1, 2 and 3, I am going to get resultant electric field is equal to double of Q upon 4 pi epsilon naught square of under root is going to give me R square plus A square. Okay, so I have substituted this value E1 plus E2. Now here cos theta is there. So what is the value of that cos theta? Just see from the figure. If I consider this theta, then from figure I can obtain cos theta is equals to adjacent upon hypotenuse. So I'll write that value. Cos theta is equals to, just see what is the adjacent side, it is A, divided by what is the hypotenuse, it is under root r square plus a square. So now I'll substitute this value of cos theta, this cos theta over here. So I'm going to get a upon under root r square plus a square, and this minus p cap as it is. Okay, now if I solve this, I'm going to get 2aq upon 4 pi epsilon naught. Here in power it is 1 and this is root, means here in power I am having 1 upon 2. So 1 plus 1 upon 2 is going to give me 3 by 2. So here r square plus a square, in power it will be 3 by 2 and here it will be minus p cap. Now as we know, 2aq into p cap is vector p. So here we'll be writing vector p. This negative sign comes out as it is, divided by the same value. So this is our required equation for electric field at a point on the equatorial plane which is at a distance of r from the center of the dipole. Now suppose we consider a case where the point P is far away from the center of the dipole. So if this P moves away, then we can say that r is very big than A. So we'll consider that case now. So for r very big than A, what will happen? We'll neglect A from this equation. We'll be neglecting A from this equation. So we'll be left with vector P upon 4 pi epsilon naught r square plus a square was that which we have neglected. This is the power. This 2 will get cancelled. So we'll obtain this equation. So this is our required equation. This is the electric field at a point P on the equatorial plane which is very far away from the center of the dipole. Now here we need to consider few points. Just see, for equatorial plane we have obtained this equation, and for a point on axis we obtained this equation. If you compare these two equations, then we can see that the field on the axis is double than the field on the equator, as well as just see the direction of the electric field. At a point on axis, the direction of electric field is along the direction of the dipole, whereas on equatorial point, the electric field is opposite to the direction of the dipole. If you see from the figure, this resultant field at point P, in the case of axial field, it will be in this direction. And this is similar to the direction of the dipole. Whereas if you see in the case of equatorial point, both are in opposite direction. Just see here, this is the direction of the dipole and this is the direction of the electric field. So both are in opposite direction. One more thing we need to discuss, that the electric field at larger distance reduces as 1 upon r cube. 1 upon r cube, not as 1 upon r square like it was decreasing in the case of electric field due to a point charge. It was E is equals to kq upon r square. So here the electric field was reducing as 1 upon r square, but here in the case of dipole it is reducing as 1 upon r cube. One more thing, the magnitude and the direction of the dipole field, they not only depend on r but they also depend on the angle between the position vector r and p. Here, due to a point charge, the value of electric field depends only on r, but here it depends on r and the angle between r and p also. Just see from the figure, this is the position vector r and this is the direction of dipole, so the angle is 90. And if I consider in case of axial field, then see, from the center the position vector of point P is in this direction and P is also in the same direction, so angle between P and R is 0. So the value of electric field also depends on the direction, so you have to remember these points also. So that's all for our topic.